Tonight, we investigate a mystery hidden in the most traditional of ways. This is the secret of the Sewn Evidence. We are in Lviv, 1995, investigating the murder of a seemingly ordinary archivist. The police were baffled. No motive, no suspect, and a false identity that led nowhere. The case went cold immediately. The key to unlocking this murder wasn't found in a file or on a fingerprint. It was concealed within a single, carefully prepared Holubets, the humble cabbage roll. One small, brilliant clue was literally sewn into the cabbage leaf with a piece of thread, transforming this comfort food into a final, irrefutable message. How did a simple cabbage roll become the key to proving both murder and a decades-old hidden identity? And what vital clue was stitched into the very heart of the meal? Don't let the evidence grow cold. Subscribe to Crime Cuisine now and join us as we unravel the layers of this mystery. The victim was Mykola Rudenko, a quiet man who worked at the city archives. He was stabbed in his apartment. Mykola's entire life seemed to be a blank page. No close relatives, no debts, no known enemies. All his documents were legitimate, yet investigator Roman Kozlov felt something was profoundly wrong. The only strange item found at the scene was a pot of freshly cooked Holubtsi, cabbage rolls, on the stove. Mykola's neighbor stated that Mykola made Holubtsi every Sunday, without fail. Holubtsi requires meticulous preparation, a savory filling of rice and meat, carefully rolled into a blanched cabbage leaf and then simmered in a tomato sauce. They are comfort food, not a murder weapon. Kozlov, frustrated by the lack of leads, decided to focus on the one constant in Mykola's life, his Sunday meal. He took the remaining pot of Holubtsi back to the station. Holubtsi are usually secured by tightly tucking the cabbage leaf edges, but one of the Holubtsi, the second from the top of the pot, was different. It had been sewn. Kozlov found a tiny, almost invisible piece of black thread stitched precisely along the seam of the cabbage leaf. This was unnecessary and time-consuming for cooking. It was a clear signature. Inside this specially secured Holubets, Kozlov found a thin, dry piece of rice paper. On the paper was written a single code word, Yagoda, berry. This word meant nothing to the police. However, a forensic examination of the thread revealed a crucial detail. The thread was made from a rare, specific type of linen fiber, historically only used in the garment industry in Odessa during the 1970s. The victim was not Mykola Rudenko of Lviv. He was someone else, linked to Odessa and the 1970s. His final meal, the Holubets, was his last desperate attempt to communicate his true identity before he was killed. The thread led Kozlov to the archives, not the Lviv archives where Mykola worked, but the historical archives in Odessa. There, Kozlov found a deactivated file from 1978 concerning a state witness protection case. The witness, a former chemist named Yevgen Holovenko, had testified against a powerful smuggling ring run by the man nicknamed Yagoda, Berry. Yevgen Holovenko was given a new identity and moved to an undisclosed location. His new identity? Mykola Rudenko. The murder was not random. Yagoda, the smuggler, had found Yevgen after 20 years. But why did Yevgen sew the evidence into the Holubets? Yevgen, Mykola, knew his daily routine was observed. He was being watched, likely by the smuggler's henchmen, who probably even ate dinner with him sometimes. He couldn't leave a note under the floorboards, but he knew his simple Sunday meal would never be suspected. The seam, the subtle, unnecessary stitch, was the key. He had used the unique Odessa thread as a direct nod to his former life and the place where his true identity was known. The police located Yagoda and arrested him. He confessed that he only wanted to know where the money was hidden, believing Mykola, Yevgen, had access to the smuggler's original fortune. But Yevgen had one more secret hidden within the structure of the meal itself. Kozlov returned to the Holubets recipe. Yevgen had always insisted on a very specific type of pickled cabbage leaf for his holubtsi, which was tougher and had a thicker vein structure than standard blanched leaves. The toughness of the leaf wasn't for taste, it was for protection. When Yevgen sewed the seam, he had used the natural thick veins of the cabbage leaf as a tiny rigid frame to protect the rice paper note from dissolving during the hours of simmering in the acidic tomato sauce. The simple culinary choice, the choice of a tough, pickled leaf, was the final stroke of genius that allowed the note to survive the cooking process and eventually solve his own murder. The truth was not just hidden in the food, it was preserved by the food. The case of the Sewn Evidence proved that in the world of crime, a killer can change a person's name, their job, and their history, but they cannot erase the intricate clues left behind in their daily rituals. The Holubets, a meal of many comforting layers, became the perfect metaphor for a man whose true identity was deeply wrapped and carefully secured. The comfort food was the final, devastating piece of evidence. Thank you for joining us on Crime Cuisine. The truth is in the taste. Don't let the evidence grow cold. Subscribe to Crime Cuisine now and join us for the next chilling investigation.